Yo, today we're talking about something that I didn't see coming at all. G Fuel has changed their labels to include the amounts of each ingredient that they use. They also made some changes to their formula as well, so let's take a look at these changes and figure out if the drink deserves the hype that it gets. If you're new to the channel, my name is Franco and I work as a physical therapy tech in the Army. I try to make content that helps gamers with health-related topics. One of the most popular videos on this channel is one where I explain the pros and cons of these gaming energy powders. Now, the major problem with a lot of these brands and supplements in general is that they aren't required to tell you how much of each ingredient that they use in their product. This makes reviewing these drinks extra difficult. Let's take G Fuel for example. This tub of PewDiePie's flavor does not tell me how much of each ingredient that it uses. So I can say, okay, cool, they use taurine, and taurine helps you with performance, and you need to take 500 to 2,000 milligrams of taurine to help with performance. But it's in a proprietary blend, so I don't know if G Fuel is putting that much, and I can't tell you if G Fuel is good or not. All I can really review is the flavor, which is just personal preference. I think it tastes good, but maybe you don't think so. Maybe you like different things than me. So what do you really learn from a video like that? Because of this, I've made it a sort of rule on my channel that I'm only going to review brands with transparent labels. And if you haven't seen a brand reviewed here, even though it's popular, then most likely it's because of this reason. If you'd like to support the channel in ways other than subscribing and liking and all that YouTube stuff, and you're in the market for a gaming style chair, then check out Secret Lab chairs with the link below. I've had mine for over 2 years, and in my review of it, I talked about how awesome the comfort and quality is, and in my opinion, they make the best chairs of this style. So check them out. G Fuel has a label like this up until just recently. If I understand correctly, they've been pushing out select flavors with this updated label and new formula. I've picked up the Sour Blue Chug Rug, which I've never had before, and I've also been told many times that newer flavors are less chalky, which is one of my biggest complaints with G Fuel in the past. So to start, let's compare the old formula with the new formula. The basic portion of nutritional information is mostly unchanged. Same amount of calories and pretty much the same amount of vitamins. The old label listed an energy complex, which was 1.79 grams, and a focus complex, which was 1.2 grams. The interesting thing here is the ingredients found in both complexes are still here, and if you add the ingredients of the energy complex in the new label, they equal 1.79 grams, but the new focus complex ingredients add up to less than the previous amount. Here are the ingredients in the new formula. I've included a short description of what each ingredient does, as well as the amount of that ingredient, then the amount recommended for an effective dosage. You can pause the video and read it all, or you can get an idea at a glance because I've made the ingredients with proper dosages green and the ingredients without red. Yellow means that there isn't really an effective dosage, or that ingredient doesn't have a lot of information behind it to support the claims that it makes. A few things here. Only taurine and tyrosine are dosed properly, with caffeine being average for one serving when compared to drinks like this. And ATP salt and the second form of tyrosine are laughably bad, as in those last two ingredients almost feel like they're there as a byproduct of something else, because to add 1 milligram of two ingredients that have either no scientific backing for benefits, or in the case of ATP salt have been shown not to make a difference when taken orally, seems weird and unnecessary. If it is added intentionally, then this is an example of what people call dusting, where a company adds such a small amount of an ingredient that you wouldn't benefit from it, but they get to say, hey, we have this in our drink. All in all, these ingredients really fall short, and the biggest effect you're probably going to notice is likely whatever you feel from the caffeine that's in it, with a bit of the edge taken off by tyrosine and taurine. In addition to this, they've included an antioxidant blend with a lot of fruit powders and extracts, but they don't list the amounts individually, and I don't really have a problem with this because it's not as important, and the antioxidant blend is not dependent on its individual ingredients as much as it is just there for antioxidant purposes. And the old label's complex matches the new one, so no changes really. I compared the new label to my tub of PewDiePie's flavor, and if you look at even older flavors, they have a different formula as well, so that makes 3 different formulas really. The old formula has 10 more milligrams of caffeine at 150, and the antioxidant blend was much bigger at 163 milligrams instead of 26. The energy complex was also bigger at 1.85 milligrams, and it was a few more calories. I think it also has a few more carbs as well. This old formula also had a few extra ingredients such as velvet bean, tooth club moss, and bacopa leaf. I thought that maybe taking these ingredients out would get rid of that lead warning, but the last thing that I'm going to mention when it comes to the ingredients is the lead issue. The warning is still on the label, and if you didn't know, certain natural ingredients have natural amounts of lead from the soil. This is found in other types of food and products, and California requires a label if a product has over a certain amount. At this point, The info is out there, and I've discussed it in previous videos. I'm not G Fuel's spokesperson, and I have no stake in their company. Personally, I don't have a problem with the issue, but obviously some people do. And if you're one of those people, then just know that the new formula still has the lead warning. If this bothers you, don't buy it. It doesn't make a bit of difference to me. G Fuel does not pay me. So we've compared the new formula to the old. We've talked about the new ingredient transparency. Might as well mention my thoughts on this flavor. I don't like it. It's called Sour Blue Chug Rug, and I have no idea what that's supposed to taste like. But I can tell you, it is not sour. I have no idea why they'd use that word. It's kind of like an underwhelming blue raspberry. Have you ever just bought a drink that you never tried, and once you take a sip, you're like, yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad. I think I can finish it. Well, that's this flavor, except now I have 40 servings of it. I've given it a few tries, hoping that maybe I just had a weird bit of powder and it needed to mix well, but no, it's just not very good. I will say that it's less chalky than I'm used to with G Fuel, but it's not on rogue levels of mixability. The end was pretty chalky, but that tends to happen with these drinks if you don't shake it periodically as you drink it. My overall impressions of G Fuel's new formula are mixed. I think it's awesome that they decided to change their label in favor of transparency, and it seems like this is the direction that most of these companies are headed, and I like that. I know I have nothing to do with it, but I'm still gonna take credit because it makes me feel important. Unfortunately, now that we know what's in it, we know that it's basically just flavored caffeine with a few things thrown in, but not in any amounts that'll make a big difference. They're not gonna be my personal go-to, but if you like hype and sales and lots of flavors, or you like supporting one of the many creators that they partner with, then I wouldn't completely fault you for going with G Fuel, but in my opinion, there are way better options out there with much better ingredients. If you're curious as to what options those are, then check out this video after you like and subscribe to this one. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!